In the previous video, I showed you how to create this main hero area here for our product, but this does not showcase other information about this product. So I am going to show you how to create all these other sections here. So this one here gives a bit more detail about the product. And if I hover over it, you can see here it changes from grayscale to this color. I'll also show you how to do that. On the bottom here, we have a slider. And again, this gives us a bit of context as to what sort of people are using this type of shoe. So I'm going to show you step by step how to create this, and I'll also link to the video where I created this main hero area. But before we get started, if you're a Divi user or you're thinking about using Divi, I have a course called the Divi Mastery Course. This is a course which is really powerful because it teaches you how to use Divi. If you're brand new to Divi, the UI has changed from how it was in Divi 4. So I cover all of that. And as you can see, there's 846 students that have already signed up for this course. It's very, very popular because the price is only $27. So in a few days, the price is going to go up because I'm going to be adding more modules onto it. I'll be also adding more templates which you can download, plug and play, and add to your website. So this is the entry price. So get it while it's still at $27. Now, of course, you may be thinking, well, are you going to charge me more when you add more modules and lessons? The answer is absolutely not. If you buy it for $27, I will not charge you any extra when I add new modules and templates to download. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So over here, we have our main header area here. Now let's go ahead and add more context to this page. So we're going to come over here and add a brand new section, but this section is going to have 2 columns. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. All right, so on the left column, we're going to add an image. So I'm going to search for my image module and select it. All right, so over here, I've already gone ahead and downloaded my image, by the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and select it, and here it is. Go ahead and say upload image, and there it is. Next, over here now, we need to add a bit more information. So we're going to need a few text modules, and I'm also going to add some blurbs. So let's go ahead and add our title here. So of course, this is way too big. It's not what I really want. Let's duplicate this, and then we're going to go back here and get rid of some of this text by just deleting it like that. Okay, the next step now is I'm going to need two blurbs side by side. So in order for me to achieve that, I can either go in here and add it to the existing module, or I can just add a group and then customize it independently. And that is what I'm going to do. So by adding a group, I'm just going to search for my blurb module and select it. Okay, great. So now that I have this, I would need to further customize this a little bit in order for me to use it. So I'm just going to add in my text. And of course, this is a lot of text. I'm just going to go in here, grab my title and replace what I have here on the top. And then we're just going to make this a capital T. Okay. So as you can see here, there's a lot of text here. So I'm just going to get rid of some of it. Okay. So now that we have this, we need to customize this until we are happy with what it looks like. And then we're going to duplicate it. That saves us a lot of time. So we're going to start off here with our image and icon. So we're going to select that and make sure we select icon. So in this icon, I'm just going to search for, let's say, the sun. Maybe we want to describe how this performs in the sun or in the rain. So let's just go with this. Okay. Next, we're going to reduce the size of that icon by coming over here, and then we're going to look for our image and icon. And here it is. So the size here is 96 pixels. We're going to go for, let's say, 3 rem. Let's see what that looks like. And I think that's perfect for my size. And then what I also need to do is to center this text. So I'm just going to close that, go to my text alignment, center. All right. So now that I have this, I'm very close to duplicating it, but I'm not ready yet because I need to do a few more things to this. In fact, we can leave it as it is right now, but if you wanted to add a border and stylize it a bit more, you can also do that. So let's just not waste a lot of time here and just duplicate it. All right, so now that we have 2 of these, I'm going to go back to this top one here and change the icon. So I'm going to go back, and this time, let's choose wind. So with this wind now selected, I'm just going to go ahead and choose it. Next, I am going to just change the title here so at least things look a bit different. So I'm going to go into text, And I'm just going to grab a bit of this and replace what we have here on the top. Okay. Right. So now that we have this, the next step now is to make them side by side. So I'm going to come over here to my group settings, go to design. And then what we need is to be in the layout here where we can change the direction to row. So now we have them side by side, and that is looking great so far. But we still have a bit more to do on this layout. And of course, we want to make it mobile friendly because that is also very, very important. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the width here. So I'm going to go into my row settings and I'm going to scroll down here until I go to sizing. All right, so in sizing here, we're going to change this to 1366. This is my go-to size, which looks great on mobile devices. It looks great on pretty much all devices, because 1080 is a bit too small now. All right, so now that I have this, it's time for me now to just add that style where we're going to make this grayscale, and then when you hover over it, it's going to be color. So I'm going to select this, head over now to design, and then go to filters. So this is where we have this option. So we are going to drag all this way down to 0. Okay, so this is our saturation. And then we're going to come over here now to the top, click on this icon and go to hover. Okay. And all we need to do now is to change this back to 100 and then hit enter. So now we are good to go. And don't forget, you need to change this back to desktop, because if you keep it there, it's going to be a problem while you're designing your website. So now that we have this, it's time now to go and stylize our header. So I'm going to go in here. So for those of you that don't use the Divi 5 framework called SiteKrafter, which is my product, by the way, it just makes it very, very easy for you to design your websites because it has all your sizes in clamp all put together. So you don't have to stress about what sizes to use. Okay, so if you're not using SiteKrafter, this is where you want to select, go to design, and then you just want to go to your text and start adding your text size. Right now it's set to 1 rem. So this is where you'd go in and set your either clamp, or you're going to put your pixels, but I don't recommend using pixels. All right, so this is where it would come in and do that. So in my case, I'm going to come over here to advanced attributes, and then I'm going to add my class attribute because this is using SiteKrafter. So I'm going to add my class and then just close out of here and open it again. This is a bug that we are working on. Very soon you don't need to close and open it. So now I can say SK heading. So this is what I'm looking for. So I have all my heading sizes here all set up for me. So let's try 6. Okay. And okay, how about we go for 5? Let's try 4. No, 5. And that's the beauty of this, because I can always go in here, change my sizes. Just on the fly, just like that. So I may want to make it bold. So I'm going to say 700, and this will bring my, okay, so I need to go to font 700 here, like that. So you can see it's nice and bold. But of course, if you want it really thin, you can go with font 100. So as you go up in size, you can see here it's changing, but I prefer 600. Well, let's try 500. Okay, we're going to go with 500. Okay, great. Next, I'm going to come over here and choose my description text. And again, I'm going to come over here to attributes and add my attribute. So just like before, we're going to add it as a class. And then we are going to give it the class, and the class is going to be, let's go with the text. So we have all our sizes, extra small, small, and so on. So you can see here that's extra small. But I think we can get away with large. Should we go with large? Okay, let's try medium. All right, so I think I'm going to go with medium. Okay, great. So now I have everything that I need all set up. Next, let's head over to our section settings, because we need to add responsive padding here. It's very important, okay? So again, we're going to go to our attributes here, class, and we are going to choose our class like that. And this time we need to add a section. So, these sections here, they all have different sizes. If you need an extra small section, you choose that. If you need it larger, all the sizes are there for us. So I'm going to go with medium. Does that look great? Yeah, I think medium works. Or if you want a bit more breathing space, you can go with large. But you see, this spacing here is great because it is responsive. When you make your screen smaller, the spacing also goes smaller because we've used clamp values. And this is really, really important. Okay. Now I can see here this spacing looks a bit too much. Okay, it's a bit too much. So if you want to save yourself time, make sure you select this. You go to your inspector, and then we're just going to go to our content here and then choose attributes. So this is where I can go to my section padding here, change this to medium, and that is much better. Okay, so that's great. I'm going to close out of here. All right, so now that I have my section all complete, the next thing I'm going to do now is to work on my third section. So I'm going to come over here, click on this plus button. We're going to go with a single column. So here we need to add a group carousel because we need to add those images, remember, in the slider. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. Now with that selected, I'm going to click here on this plus button, add an image module. So I'm going to search for it and select it. So now that we have our first image, we just need to make sure we assign a proper image to it. So I'm going to start with this one. In fact, let me start with this one. Click on upload. All right, great. So now that I have that one, I'm going to click here in my group carousel and then duplicate it here. Okay. And then we're going to go in and it's going to ask for our image. So I'm going to go in, choose my image, and then I'm going to go to my library here. And the image I'm going to go with is this one. So I'm going to add a total of 4 images. All right. So with that, again, I'm going to go back and back one more time. We're going to duplicate the carousel. So now it's time to add our next image. So I'm going to go in and choose my image here. And this time I'm going to go with this one, upload image. So now we have 3 images. So I need one more because I'm going to make it full width. That way it will take up decent space. All right, so let's go and add one more. And then again, we're going to go to our elements, go to our image, and then in image here. Now you need to follow this step by step because, you know, it did take me quite a bit of time for me to get used to it because sometimes as you are selecting it, you might be in the wrong place and you'll find that, you know, the slider is not working. All right, so I think my slider is working. And while I'm here, I need to make sure that I go into my settings and change a few things. So here we're going to go to our arrows. So for my arrow, I mean, the size is fine, but I'm going to go into my arrow color and make it a bit darker. Okay. And then for our arrow size, let me make it a bit bigger. So we're going to go with 4M. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. I think that's fine. An arrow position, we're going to leave it inside and we don't need the background here, do we? No. All right. So let's move on to the dot navigation here. So the dot navigation, I don't like it outside. I like it inside. So I'm going to go in and say overlay. Okay. So I think so far I have everything that I need. And let's go back here. So the background, I'm not sure if I can adjust my background here. Oh, perfect. So this is where I can go in and adjust my background. So, you know, we use that yellow. If we want to be a bit creative here, we can go in and choose our yellow here so that at least people can see where they are clicking. All right. So now that I have this, I think I'm ready now to go in and make this full width. So I'm going to come over here and then we're going to go to our layout, sizing, and we're going to set this to 100% like that. And then over here, we're going to set this to 100% as well. Something is not right. What happened here? Okay, we're going to fix that because I think it is my carousel here. So I'm going to go to content. Now there's a few things that we can also do here as well. And that is to go to our carousel settings. So what I need here is the center mode. Okay, because I want to show a few items here on my slider. So here I have slice to show. It has 2. I can set it to 3 if I want to. So this is going to be pretty much up to you. But I think this looks, you know, much better. Now this section here has padding on it. I don't want that padding. So I'm going to go into my section settings here and let's go to design, spacing. Then for the padding, I'm going to set this to 0, both to the top and the bottom, so that we can have consistent sizes. So now that we have this, we're not done yet. We still have a problem, because when we try to view this in mobile, you can see that things start going crazy. I mean, on the bottom here, things are fine, but the middle section here does not look great. It's even worse when we come over here. Oh, actually, in fact, this is great. This is great. So what we need to do is to go to the middle one here and just make sure that all my content here is correct. So I have my row settings on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose my elements. We're going to go to the first column and select it. Okay. So what we're going to do now is to make sure that in the design mode, when we go to sizing, here it's set to 100%. Okay. We also need to go to the second one, the second column. So we're going to go back to our content, go to our elements. In the second column, we are going to go into design, layout. We're going to go to sizing. Okay. Again, we need to set this to 100%. Now, another way you could do this as well is by coming over here to the column class and then change this to 100. Okay. That's another way of doing it. So once we have that, we're going to go back now to content and back into our row, because this is where I need to change the column structure in Flexbox. So I'm going to come over here to layout, change this from row to column. So now we have a full image there on the top, and then on the bottom here, things are looking great as well. Now, this is very important as a designer, because you want to make sure that your views in different mobile sizes are looking great. And this is the attention to detail that you need to be doing as you're designing your website. So right now it looks great. I'm going to go back and then we're going to save and preview this. Okay, great. So now that we've done the preview, we're going to scroll down and you can see now that our page here is clean. And when we scroll down here, oops, you know what? I didn't remove the spacing here on the bottom, but this works great. Look at that. Okay, so over here, we're going to go in and remove that space on the bottom. So let's go to our section settings. And you know what? This is open by default. I don't know why. Anyway, we're going to go to our spacing and then just apply this both to the top and the bottom. Now, I noticed that my slider here is not showing the way I want. But anyway, I think this works great too. You know, there's no real big deal here. So now that we are done, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to turn this into a product that people can actually buy. So make sure you subscribe and share these videos. And if you want to support me as well, you like what I'm doing, head over to diviuniversity.com. Here is a link for you to buy me a coffee if you find these videos interesting. So make sure you watch the next video. Okay, here's the buy Mac a coffee link. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.